Hello, Texas Values supporters. This is Mary Elizabeth Castle, Director of Government Relations for Texas Values. And you may be wondering why I'm at a local DPS office instead of at the Capitol. Well, we were expecting a hearing this morning where they would be discussing court orders on government documents. Now, why is that an issue of discussion, and what's going on with court orders and government documents? Well, in case you didn't know, it used to be before August 20th that individuals could go get a court order in order to change their sex on both their driver's license and even their birth certificates. And why is that important? Especially in this conversation on where we're discussing what is a woman. That means people could go around as a different identity, and gender identity was being an issue with driver's license and birth certificates. Now, in order to do a lot of things, you need a driver's license and a birth certificate. Even our Save Women sports laws, both HB 25 and our College Save Women sports law, require that you have a birth certificate issued close to the time of birth in order to play on the correct sports team that aligns with your biological sex. Well, this is going to be a very heavy issue in the next session. Even though we have protection for women in sports, there's still other issues coming into restrooms, locker rooms, even homeless shelters, and people changing basically who they are just by a court order. In fact, when it came to the driver's license, did you know you didn't even have to prove any type of gender transition surgery to get that court order? Very interesting. And this has happened all within the last month that we've had both of these instructions from both departments, both from the DPS. So the DPS now has policy guidance that you can no longer use a court order to change your sex on your driver's license. And recently, the Department of Health and Safety has a policy that says you can't change your sex on your birth certificate or use a court order for that. So this is going to be a very hot topic in the next session. Like I'm saying, you know, people are still questioning what is a woman. Is that something that we're going to have to define in state law? Maybe. You'll see in the next session. But this is all an important question when you're going to vote for different elected officials, when you're thinking about different policy issues and conversations. This is a real topic that you need to consider because we just had the Biden administration try to rewrite Title IX. And remember, that was the Biden-Harris administration that tried to redefine sex in Title IX, which is key legislation that was written for the purpose of defining sex and defining sex-based rights. So just in case you didn't know, this is very good news that the DPS and the Department of Health and Safety is implementing this policy. But at the same time, like we always say, sometimes you actually need it to be very clear that you cannot do this in state law. So we didn't have a discussion on that today at the Capitol, but thought you would know because sometimes these things go under the radar, and we at Texas Values always want to make sure you're updated on the most recent things that are happening with faith, family, and freedom. This has been a quick update, and until next time, this has been a Texas Values update. Thank you so much for tuning in.